Welcome to another video. And today we have an interesting topic, and it's pretty crazy, and I'll tell you why. The transfer of anabolic steroids through breast milk after birth on a bodybuilding females that sells their breast milk as living for the use of steroids or their cycles. So I was out doing my job and I was approached by this female. She's like, "Hey, you look like a bodybuilder. I sell my breast milk and you could get some anabolics through the breast milk and even enhance yourself even further, for your competitions and everything. It's something new." I was like, "Really?" So I didn't believe it first. So I said, let me dig really deep. So I found some things out and I need to share my research with you guys because it's pretty amazing. So the first thing I learned is that prednisolone is transferred through breast milk. So when you have a baby and he's sick, they don't give this medication to the baby. The actual medication is given to the mother, then it's transferred through the breast milk. And it's transformed completely into the perfect dose by a situation of hours. And it's delivered in an equal amount of dose with the colostrum. So basically they're getting like an IV with the medication. Boom, and they're fixed. Amazing, right? So how much is it transferred over? Well, let's say a female took 65 milligrams. This would transfer 5% over to the baby's milk or breast milk and the exocrine gland. And the way this works, and let me start really quick to show you guys, is you got a breast, and here's the nipple, and the milk will come out of the milk duct. So you have the areola, which stimulates the glands, and also some of the fatty area over here. Now, what is really amazing is that these little sacs over here that look like grapes, they are lobules, and they are attached to veins, little veins that go directly into the muscle. And these veins, they have blood flowing with the medication, with other compounds. So the milk is created right here. When the baby starts doing sensation, touching and stuff, or anybody, it'll release and it'll come out. Now it's pretty amazing because you could see every single one of them is attached, and they have like little micro lobules, and they are filling up with milk constantly. Now that I show you guys this, it's freaking unbelievable, because also when we are talking about newborns, the mother is in charge to pass the drugs. We talked about one, but in fact, in a serious health condition, after taking a drug, the mother has a high dose in breast milk. The first 2 hours, after 4 hours, we have a perfect dose. Waiting 30 minutes after ingestion. Now, this is crazy because drugs and breastfeeding is something that, a lot of mothers know, but a lot of bodybuilders don't know. And I'll go deep into the steroid part. But first, there's 90 to 95% of the release of active drugs or steroids. And this is why this alone can be a huge benefit in the bodybuilding industry for the future of the evolution of bodybuilders itself. Now, I figured out a formula. So with different drugs, you could actually transfer over the milk over to the actual competitor or the bodybuilder. And I'm not suggesting do this. This is a crazy, funny topic, but it's science and it's real. Now, in 1 ounce of milk, of any drug, particularly steroids itself, you could transfer over in 1 ounce 5% of this compound. So for 10% of the compound, you have 2 ounces, and 20 ounces for 6 ounce, and 25% for 8 ounces. So that means we could actually benefit 100% from consuming the breast milk from a bodybuilder that is in a cycle and is stimulating their breast to produce milk for the, selling it and distributing it to bodybuilders. Why? Because 25% in 8 ounces, if you take 4 cups of 8 ounces and you drink them, that means you have 100% of the actual drug itself or steroid that will be allowed into your system, and you will have the exact same benefits from it. Ain't that amazing? I know, right? So the transfer of mediators into breast milk depends on the concentration gradients that allows passive diffusion. So what I'm trying to say is that it's ionized into non-protein bound drugs. So this alone is really, really good. Now, physicians receive 0 to no education about breastfeeding, even less training of the effects of maternal medications or nursing in an infant. There is harm if you don't know how to mitigate and to manage the timing of the drug release in the breast milk. So not any doctor could tell a female, not any gene could tell a female, hey, you take the prednisolone, you take the inhaler, and then it will transfer over to the baby. And crazy. Not a lot of people know this. I figured out the formula, but I had to go deep and do a lot of research, and not only based on one science study, but based like in 100 and something studies. So it took me about 5 days or more just to dig so deep to put out this video for you guys. Now, there's so much overwhelming evidence demonstrates the benefits of breast milk feeding. Now, and it's so deleterious because it can result like from premature weaning. What I'm saying is that for babies, meds with short half-lives and highest protein binding abilities are the way to go. That is actually the way to go. So they'll give them a little bit and it will always be 5% or less. Ain't that crazy? Now, my findings, I found out about Sudafed and Deltazone and a couple more. So let's go over them really quick. Sudafed it's excreted in breast milk. Now, Benadryl for sleep is also excreted into the breast milk. And for asthma, Proventil, the inhaler itself, right here, you could actually give the mother the 2 puffs, wait exactly 20 minutes, or wait a couple of seconds, it depends. And if the baby's having an asthma attack, boom, he will breathe normal again. And you're like, this is magical. How did this happen? Science. Amazing. Now, Deltazone are excreted in breast milk also, but in small doses. So it's a really strong drug, but it benefits in a normal dose the baby, because from 20 milligrams of it, it will bring proper dosing not only for children itself, but for adults. And this is talking about drugs only, not including not even the steroids. So let's say you're allergic to something, or you can't take the medication, or you could just not hold it down or whatever. I don't know. The thing is, if you're that person that could not even, it's like, oh my God, children, you give them the breast milk from the mother and it will transfer over. And my wife, personally, she gave my son for 4 and 10 months, almost 5 years, she breastfeeded. And I do remember when he got sick, the doctor always said he would never, take the medicine. So she would take it and he would never take it and he would always be okay. But I never paid attention because, it was something like she liked to be totally in charge of it. And at that time, I wasn't a paramedic. I wasn't into the, health industry and bodybuilding and all this stuff. But now I realize it's so important, and it could actually be something crazy and amazing for everybody. Now, talking a little bit deeper on this, let's talk about the cardiovascular part. Diuretics, beta blockers in bodybuilding, antihypertensives are really, really safe going to high doses. Would give an adult the same benefits as taking it with no side effects, because of its part doing the biotransformation of the actual compound itself when it's excreted into the pattern in the maternal plasma itself, delivering proper milk, breast milk. Now, thiazine at 25 milligrams per day, Esidrix, are excreted in small amounts, and you guys know what I'm talking about, in breast milk. And these are amazing because do not only suppress the lactation and are capable with anybody to be able to take it. It is stable. It's so stable. You get no side effects, and due to the IGF factor level inside the milk plasma itself, you get another path. And there's a lot of pathways with the IGF production and human growth hormone. There's more than 7. There's not 8. There's more. There's many more. And it's something really complex. This is probably another path. And it is completely amazing. Because not only you get the cholesterol, but you get a full dose, a shot of like mother cells with a combination of ingredients that it could take and eradicate some health conditions from a person that has severe trauma, severe situations in their life, health conditions that could impact them imminently. Now, let's talk about atenolol. Atenolol is used really, a lot in bodybuilding. And, nadolol. And it's, as a paramedic, Sotalol, beta pace are some that are excreted in high dose concentrations we actually need if we were actually to consume it from the proper breast milk itself and get the medication from the breast milk. Now, in an adult and an infant, it's the same thing. Infants take a little bit, we take a little bit more, but it's a higher dose, it helps. Insulin. Oh yeah, you guys want to know about the insulin part? Me too. So this is why I went deep on this. Insulin, however, is not excreted into the plasma of the breast milk. Generally, because of the composition of micronams and glycoside. Highly protein bound, remember I told you guys, highly protein bound at 92 to 99%. So if there's a lot of protein in the actual compound, it'll probably not transfer over, but sugar transfers over. So you could actually get a insulin spike if you're using L-carnitine in your cycle, which will benefit you tremendously because the insulin spike from breast milk, is so imminent and so amazing that in a child, in an infant that just takes 1 ounce, come back like that. He comes back immediately. And that right there is true science. Now, however, studies show that in fact, some of the infants that had signs of hypoglycemia, where the mother took a high dose, the newborns had eradication of this condition in several weeks. So a mother that is taking insulin and the baby's gene, he already has deficiency and he needs it, by just the mother taking it, he gets the benefits from the medicine, even though he does not receive the insulin. Ain't that amazing? I love it, right? Crazy. Now, same thing for antibiotics. And I know you guys want to know about antibiotics because some are used in some protocols that I have established for bodybuilding as well. And they help when you have acne, but not any acne. None of the 7, just one. It's steroid acne. There is a protocol. You take actual antibiotic, or even when you do a wrong, pin wrong spot or something, you get infections or sick, whatever. Now the thing is that it's also transferred into the breast milk. In general, there is a lot of benefits if we use it correctly. If a grown adult bodybuilder would use the breast milk correctly, transferring the drugs from a mother to the bodybuilder, it would bring tremendous benefits, because it's like starting over from day 0. That means we can include breast milk in bodybuilding protocols after extensive use of a cycle that was really, really crazy, just to mitigate the side effects in general, like some fevers or some post-cycle syndromes that you might experience just quitting cold turkey, like Ronnie Coleman said he did. And this is actually a fact, and I will go over in another video what happens and how you could do that. Now, my conclusion is that mammary tissue itself in the breast, it's composed of clusters, right? But these clusters of milk, they're producing constantly an overload of a lot of cells like this, right? Now, when this happens, they surround the central lumen. So you remember I showed you that vein, and it's like that little cortex in the grape itself. So when it surrounds the central lumen area, the transfer is driven primarily by the concentration gradient that allows passive diffusion of nionized and free non-protein bound medications. So in steroids like Anavar, like Dianabol, like EQ, even testosterone, it could be transferred. And not only that, human growth hormone, IGF. Amazing results have happened. So this is something crazy. Now, there is a couple of problems that we could run into. We will have the bodybuilder, the female, just having the medication and taking it for us. But in reality, we're talking more about the cycles itself. And if you were taking a medication that you get side effects and you want to take it, but you want to get the effects but without the side effects. So in that part, it would be amazing for a bodybuilder that is really serious in this. And I know I did a couple more research, of this more specific, more deep in videos and news articles, and seeing with actual doctors, genes, and they told me yes, it's possible. There is people that actually do it. There's an actual franchise that sells the breast milk, and there's already bodybuilders consuming this and doing this around the world, which I know I just found out, but I did remember I seen a video about it a long time ago, and it's just, I didn't pay attention to it because it's a crazy topic. Even, it's funny, but it works. It works. Now, the steroids or drugs concentrations in breast milk is determined by the maternal serum drug concentration. So that's why I had that formula up for you guys. So if you want 100% of the medication or the actual compound, even SARMs, you could actually receive it taking 8 ounces of breast milk with the actual compound 4 times a day, 100% of the dose divided in 4 times a day. And it'll even be beneficial. You still see amazing results, complete results for your transformation and everything. Now, is a female bodybuilder going to do this for someone else? Yes, they will do it, because this bodybuilder was so for real that she wanted to get some money for her actual cycle to compete in the NPC that I thought she was lying, but she was like, she looked, boom. I was like, oh my God, this has to be real. So, but she was so serious about it. So I said, okay, I'm definitely going to make a video. I'm going to freaking go deep in this and I'm going to put it out. So that's what I did. So now the half-life of the oral anabolics and injectables in this is a retrograde diffusion that happens forming drugs in the plasma by enhancing their capabilities. So you will actually feel a little bit more enhanced when you're doing the breast milk itself than the actual compound, with probably less elevation of liver enzymes as GOT levels and what's so, T3 is crazy. I love this topic. Now, the pharmacologic activity of the medication depends on its absorption, distribution, metabolism, and elimination. So we minimize risk of toxicity. So basically what I told you guys. And finally, there's so much more that we could actually find out about this topic that could improve just by other supplements like Joinvine or like Blue Ox or Black Ox or any of the supplements in in some industries elaborated by some good scientists and professionals that actually work. Vitamin C, cures, vaccines, amazing. So we could go really deep and center mass the attention and how it could affect babies, but how it could affect adults in every drug and the 3 categories and levels. So kids, females, and males, but also subcategories, bodybuilders, baby, newborns, and enhanced, female bodybuilders. So with that, I'll cut the video here and tell you guys thank you for watching. Freaking amazing topic. Now open up in the comment section, open up all put all your insight. If you know anything, drop it in the box. I'll add it to my notes into the study. So when I put out the actual book of all the studies I'm doing and research for science and experiments for bodybuilding, you guys comments and notes will appear there as well. And I take it to heart. So thank you guys. You guys know I'm out.